Sheriff, I appreciate this. This is a special time as a trooper's kid. And when I think about that, and I think about this wall, I think about the heroes that I'm looking at and standing here, and I'm thinking about my own father, who I just talked to just a few moments ago. 31 years with the Georgia State Patrol. My mom with him right now. They have been the example of what law enforcement goes through so many times. And tonight, as I'll share just a few more minutes later about that, but I did want to remind those of why we're here. And thinking about this memorial, Georgia officers who have fallen in 2017 already. Deputy Sheriff Michael Butler of Lowndes County Sheriff's Department. Sergeant Gregory Michael Mager of Richmond County Sheriff. In 2016, we saw Jody Carl Smith of Georgia Southwestern State University Police Department. Officer Nicholas Ryan Smar of Americus. Deputy Sheriff Justin White of Newton County. Deputy Sheriff Darrell Smallwood, Peach County. Sergeant Patrick Sondren of Peach County. Officer Timothy Kevin Smith of Eastman Police Department. Investigator Anthony Freeman of the Bibb County Sheriff's Department. Major Gregory Barney of the Riverdale Police Department. And then one, Mr. Speaker, that came at a time in which the sheriff and others were on the police working group. We were in Atlanta. We're going through discussing the issues that police are going through and how communities are coming together, and we got word of a shooting in South Georgia. At the time, we just got a name, and we wasn't really sure what had went on, but we found out there was a shooting and there was a fatality involved. What I came to find out later was that the gentleman who was killed was Deputy Commander U.S. Marshal Patrick Carothers of the Southeast Regional Task Force. He was a leader who didn't even have to be there that day. He could have been there. He could have took a step back. Instead, he led the charge. He went in first, as a leader does, and was killed. As it became more and more clear, Marshal Carothers, I began to realize I had another special connection to. Because just a few months earlier, I had the privilege of appointing his son to the United States Naval Academy. It is a matter of family. It's a matter of heart. As someone growing up who thought that it was sort of awkward having your dad come and pick you up at the school in the state patrol car, and he thought it was pretty cute when he put you in the back seat. And the kids were laughing. And they would talk about it, and they say, ooh, a state trooper's coming to pick you up. And I'd look at them and say, it's my dad. But what they didn't also see was the times when they come home, and I would wake up at night, and my dad would be coming home to change his shirt because it was ripped and torn and bloody from where he had been involved in a fight. What they didn't know was a young son who had listened to all the things people would say about police officers and say they're talking about my dad. As one who has supported me all of my life, I could not pass this time up without recognizing those who gave the ultimate sacrifice and those who continue to serve every day. It still amazes me the Georgia State Patrol has gone on, and now folks that I look in those blue and gray cars and the sheriff's deputies' cars, or those that I grew up with as watching, they were my big brothers. Now I look in there and say, who are these younger people riding in my dad in their cars? They're just carrying on that blue line tradition. They're just carrying on that public service that means so much. So tonight, Sheriff, you've done a wonderful job of getting us here, because these folks have families, they have kids, they have a responsibility, and they never turn from it. I thank you to the families who have lost and gave their loved ones. And I thank you to the families who get up every day still with their loved ones in the fight. And to my father, who gave so much, I say thank you. And with that,